We should... Oh, I accidentally pressed record.
Oh, sweet.
We're going!
Yay!
So, this is exciting. Are you excited?
I guess.
You need to amp up the excitement.
Oh my god. It's fine. I'm not anxious. It's fine.
I mean, yeah, it's actually pretty something.
That is something. Pretty something.
Something to be anxious about. This is our 10th episode, and I just hit my hand. Ow. But yes, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. And another thing that's exciting is it's my birthday, but not really.
Kinda.
For you guys, it's my birthday.
Birthday!
It's great. So, on top of it's our 10th anniversary episode. 10th anniversary? 10th episode.
We've been doing this for 10 years.
Oh my god. Seems like it already. 10th episode. We have a lot to talk about. It's my birthday. We have like a not pseudo theme. We have like a combo recommendation.
We're gonna end up releasing an episode on my birthday too.
Yeah, we figured that out a while ago.
Oh.
Get with the picture.
Wow. Yikes. Sorry, I got excited. Okay.
What was I talking about? We have a combo theme recommendation kind of thing today because we have a lot to talk about, so we didn't want to go too much into a theme. So, let's get into our news. As of right now, our very first patron bonus episode is up, and they will be released every Wednesday. So currently our things are... and then our followers have spoken, and we are officially doing a Watch Along Wednesdays thing.
Kinda. We got yelled at.
Yeah, we did. One of our followers was like, "Hey, if you don't do this, I'm gonna throw a fit."
Throw a fit.
We're like, "Fine, we'll do it." But no, I'm really excited. So that'll be the last Wednesday of every month. Right now, our lineup officially, at the moment, is the second Wednesday is Don't Drink the Kool-Aid. The last Wednesday is our Watch Along Wednesday. We'll have regular episodes every Sunday, and then our Patreon exclusive episodes are now every Wednesday.
Got a lot of shit to do.
Yes.
Wow. This is a business, guys. It's a full-time job.
It's like a full part-time job.
No benefits.
We're only really meeting for like 16 hours a week, so it's like less than a part-time job.
That sounds like a lot.
One works 40 hours a week.
I used to.
Yeah, you did. Not anymore, though. Now you're doing this.
Yay! Yay.
Okay. So, that's our official current lineup, which we will update as shit changes.
Words.
Are we ready to talk about our long-term goals that we're going to go over on our 100th episode?
Yay! Wait. On our 100th?
Yeah.
Oh, is our 100th going to be like so far?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
So, like, we'll tell
like,
everyone what's going on right now, and then on our 100th episode, we'll either have failed incredibly or succeeded. Because we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have, 13 goals. Ooh. That's a spooky number. We didn't even plan that.
My favorite number. Except that's wrong. My favorite number is 5.
I think 13 might actually be my lucky number, but I've never really put that to the test, so I don't know. But I think it was.
My friend went to a tattoo shop a couple years ago on Friday the 13th.
Oh God!
And they were giving out these lucky number 13 prints that were on yellow, a dark yellow paper. Had all these different skulls and stuff on it. It is a cool print. I still have it.
That's cool.
I cherish it. I love it. So anyways, speaking of lucky number 13, there you go. Oh. Did you need to talk? What, did I need to talk while I was drinking?
Is that empty now?
No.
Okay. As soon as it's empty, I'm taking it away from you.
Oh. It's not a bottle. Oh my god. My roommate used to look at me the same way.
Give it.
Except
Give it
it
to
was
me.
for not finishing my wine fast enough.
Oh, see, yeah, whatever. What? What were we just saying?
Lucky number 13.
Oh yeah, lucky number 13. Oh yeah, and then we wanted to say the first thing that we had discussed, I think you mentioned it, was PodCon in Seattle.
I mean, you mentioned it, and I was like, hey, that's in Seattle.
Did I?
Yeah. Because you
I don't
said
remember mentioning
PodCon and...
Crypticon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had mentioned a bunch of other, like, cons in the area.
Oh, wait, are we talking, like, the very first time it was ever mentioned?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. So not last night? Yes.
Yeah, the very first time you mentioned it, and then I was like, that's a good idea. So we'll have, like, short-term, these are things that can possibly happen because they're in Seattle. They're in the area. So PodCon and Crypticon, we would love to go as podcasters, but we can also go as, like, just ourselves.
As, like, guests?
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're here. We bought tickets to this. We didn't get invited.
We're still losers, but that's okay.
It's fine.
We'll meet all of you.
We're a little higher on the loser totem pole.
Was in it? Instead of the Losers Club, but then they changed it at the end of the Lovers Club.
Well, I mean, it wasn't intentional. He just wrote lover on his cast because it didn't want it to say loser.
Yeah.
He's not a loser. He's a lover.
Anywho.
Those gazebos.
The next, like, I guess achievable goal would be the 10,000 downloads. But who the fuck knows?
I still have no idea what that means.
I don't either. I just know that...
You just know it's good.
I just know that, like, when... and that's why we drink. They talk about how they're at, like, 1 million downloads and they freak out, and I'm like, yay! Yay for you!
People listen. I think that's it.
Yeah.
But I've never, like, downloaded a podcast.
I think listening to it considers a download, because I listened on my iPad to our episode the other day.
And it counted as a download?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's just...
Listens.
Yeah.
It's just a different word for listens.
In the podcast world, 10,000 is hopefully achievable. I mean, I'd be happy with 1,000, but 10,000 is the dream for 100 episodes. Oh yeah, and then another local type thing is the Portland Horror Film Festival. Yeah. Any film festival. Actually, how many film festivals do I have on here? We have the Portland Horror Film Festival, Screamfest, Overlook Film Festival, which we're fucking missing out on, or we missed out on.
Now.
It's currently going while we're filming this, recording this.
Yikes.
I always say filming and I don't know
Kayla
why.
wants to be on camera.
Fuck, I do not.
You tried that.
So yeah, we have our goals for local would be the Portland Horror Film Fest, and then national would be Screamfest LA, Overlook Film Festival, and then another local thing that when we did our Washington State Urban Legends, we decided we wanted to do like a Washington horror road trip.
Haunted road trip?
Yes, like all the haunted bits and pieces and bobs. Bits and bobs? Is that a thing from like England?
Maybe. I don't know.
Your face, it was like that gif with all like the math calculations. You were like, what?
Oh, I tried not to spit out my coffee.
So yeah, we want to eventually do a haunted Washington road trip. And then next on the list we have a little bit further out from the Pacific Northwest, and that is haunted California road trip. And that includes things like the Museum of Death, right?
Yeah.
That's in...
the Museum of Death is in Hollywood. And there's also one in Seattle.
That's really cool.
It's not the same lines, though. From what I've heard, the Museum of Death in Hollywood has a bunch of, like, artifacts from, like, serial killers and
really
pictures of their victims and all sorts of really cool shit. But I haven't looked into the Seattle Death Museum as much. Just because...
It's not big.
It's not huge, one. Two, I just recently heard about it. I think so. I found a friend that's also into like the weird and creepy, and they told me about it.
That's cool.
Yeah, but
That'd
there's
be cool.
also a. Have you seen that? There was in Tennessee. There's a museum that has like OJ's Bronco and Bonnie and Clyde's car and stuff.
That's really
they've
cool.
It's got Ted Bundy's bug. Yes, the National Museum of Crime and Punishment
in Tennessee.
It is. Okay, it doesn't tell me where. Crime and Punishment. Washington, D.C.
That makes sense.
That might have been the one that they pulled down. So one of them was closed permanently, and then they opened a new one. And the new one has the outside of the museum looks like Alcatraz.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
It's really cool. We'll have to
add that to our list. Yeah.
Yes, to the national list, because we're not so much like true crime based.
No, I mean we like it.
Serial killers.
Yeah,
are my shit. Sorry.
So yeah, we wanted to do like a Washington road trip, a California road trip, and now we're adding more that are not on here. But I like the fact that currently we have 13, so I'm gonna leave it at 13.
Yes, 13.
So our do I have anything on here that's not? Oh, did I say the Winchester? I think I said the Winchester.
We said California
in general.
Yeah.
But a West Coast tour.
Yeah.
Like just all up and down the West Coast, basically. Maybe not finding some of the bigger things like the Winchester or Alcatraz, but maybe some of the smaller, lesser known stuff. I don't know. I think it'd be fun.
There's things, well, I guess the Whaley House would be a big one too, but it's not as big as like the Winchester House or Alcatraz. Yeah.
I really want to go to Alcatraz.
I think it'd be so fun.
We were going to go when we went through San Francisco, but we got to San Francisco at like 12.
What's his bucket? The big mob boss. Al Capone. Apparently you can hear like Al Capone in there doing something.
Like ghosty Al Capone?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Like he had to stay at Alcatraz, and apparently you can hear like remnants of like something happening in his cell. Yeah.
I don't we should rent like ghost hunting equipment.
I want a spirit box.
Oh yeah, you said
real-time ghosts.
Ugh.
Oh, you don't want that?
That stuff freaks me out. Like I am right on the level of yes and no, I believe. I don't know if I'm ready to actually believe.
I mean, I'm so into the thought process of it's real until it's proven that it's not.
Yeah.
Like, I can't say it's not real because I haven't gone through it.
Exactly, though. So, like, I'm right there, but I don't know if I'm mentally and anxiety prepared. I haven't prepared my body for ghosts.
Then what you could do is you could use EVP.
Yeah.
EVP? EMF? EVP. Where you just like, it's one of the two. Where you
ESPN?
take the TNT. You could take the recording and then listen to it later and be like, ooh.
No, see, I don't know. I don't know what I would be freaked out by more. Is hearing it real time and be like, okay, there are ghosts here, or hearing it later when I'm all the fuck alone and being like, okay, there's ghosts. I'm all alone in a new place. Anyways.
Did you hear the episode of And That's Why We Drink when they were doing their follower episode?
Mm-mm.
So
they've done many.
Yeah, so there was one where they were talking about a dude who was like listening for ghosts. I don't remember. I'm not going to gender this person. They were listening for their ghosts in their house by doing the recording. And they're recording and they're like, give me a sign that you're here, blah, blah, blah. And the whole house was like pitch black, and they fell down the stairs.
Oh no!
So they have the whole thing on recording, and so apparently they were listening back to it. And on the recording, they like got ready to listen to them fall down the stairs. And at the very end of it, they hear like, "Are you okay?"
Oh no!
I know.
Oh my god, that's terrifying! Holy shit!
Right? And just like think
this is his house or their house.
Their house, yeah. Just think that they were like, all right, stop. Like, nothing's happening. And then just to listen back and have, like, are you okay?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
At least the ghosty was nice.
I think, if I remember correctly, which I could be totally wrong to anybody who listens to, and that's why we drink. I think, if I remember correctly, it was, like, a child's voice or some shit.
That's creepier. Creepy children. No. Creepy children are a big no-no.
Ugh, I love it.
It's one of the reasons why, like, if I ever have kids or adopt kids, I'm never getting twins. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I don't want no shining.
I was like, wait, you can't stop yourself from having twins.
Did you think I said stop twins?
Well, you said if I ever have or adopt kids, I'm like, but if you have twins, that's your own fault.
Yeah, but luckily, no. Do they? Do twins run in my family? I don't know. I fucking hope not.
I don't think they run in either of my families.
They run in my aunt's family. That's why, like, whenever my cousins are pregnant, they're always like, oh, fuck, I hope we don't have twins.
I feel that. I feel it.
Ugh, creepy. Like,
I couldn't deal with that.
Children are creepy because they are in tune on a different level that none of us know about. Twins are worse.
Oh my gosh, so my friend Ella is a twin, and she
like
always...
your cosplay friend?
Yeah!
Oh, cool.
So they're fraternal twins. That's how you say it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, non-identical.
No.
I think it's fraternal.
Yeah, because paternal is like something else. Sure, they're non-identical twins.
Non-identical twins. But they always talk about like how they know each other on like a deeper level. Like
Ugh.
it's very cool. I love twins.
Mm-hmm.
Twins are very cool. I had these classmates that were twins. They were fucking brilliant, and they would do the exact same projects with the exact same wording and not even know it.
Oh God.
So it's just cool. Twins are so fucking cool. But then you have like Sam's siblings, and they're also not identical twins, and they're so fucking different. There is like nothing identical about them. There's like no wavelength. Oh my gosh. It's hilarious. Twins just crack me up.
Because sorry, they're really connected or not.
Yeah.
So I guess we should also talk about our very last, like, big thing that you brought up and I didn't even think about.
What'd I do?
Live shows.
Yay! Standing in front of people.
You brought it up and yet you sound so sarcastic.
I mean,
right now.
it's a real thing we should plan towards.
I know. I see all these, like, big podcasts doing all these like, hey, we're going live, we're gonna be here, and I'm like, oh God, we're gonna have to do that someday.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we don't have to.
Yeah, and who fucking knows if we'll even get there, but you know, maybe our followers, will
both.
No, we're a cult. They're followers.
Oh shit, sorry followers.
Maybe they'll just accept the fact that we like to be behind the mic and out of sight. Maybe.
Wizard of Oz?
Yeah. We'll have a live show.
We are behind a curtain. We're behind a curtain. Oh.
We'll have a big curtain. Like, we'll be like, we're live, but we'll never move the curtain. Oh my God.
The stagehands are all talking to each other. Should we raise the curtain?
No.
Leave it down.
Oh my God. That would be us.
The illusion.
But that's our goals. So I guess we can look at them at our 100 episode mark, but we could probably look at them before. And obviously if shit actually happens, we'll be like, hey, this is cool. It's on our list. We're done. That's when we get one thing and we're like, we did it. We made it. Mic drop.
We're good. We got this far, guys.
I already mentioned that's my birthday. I don't really want to talk about it again because I'm going to be 28 and I'm upset. I'm sad, but I'm also excited because I love my birthday. I love celebrating my birthday, and then the day after, I get really depressed. I'm like, I'm 1 year older, and I don't like it. I want to be... what age do I want to stay forever? I think I want to stay like 24 forever.
Why? You can't even like legally rent a car.
I own a car. Well, I have a car.
What if you wanted to go out of state? You flew somewhere.
Fine. I want to be 25 forever.
There you go.
At that point, I can legally do everything in the universe.
United
Technically.
States.
I mean. But yeah, so we decided that, well, actually, I decided that since it was my birthday episode, I'm just gonna pick, like, our stupid little theme.
It's not stupid. Shut
Well,
up.
it wasn't stupid, it was high pressure.
That was a high pressure.
You freaked out. I said
I have a lot of favorite movies.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry.
Damn it. That's our theme, guys. Michaela blew it.
God.
This is going a whole different place than I thought it would.
Oh, what a great 10th episode.
But yeah, that's our theme. It's like I said earlier, I said it was going to be kind of like a mashup of our recommendations and our theme, because we can't really not have a theme. I was just going to have no theme, but then I was like, that's not what we do. So we have movies that are our favorite of all time. And I'm mad at myself.
This was really hard for me.
It was hard, and that's why I wrote in my notes. I don't know why this is the one I thought to do for our first big celebration episode. I literally hate the question, what is your favorite? ... Like, anytime someone's like, what's your favorite? I'm like,
give me choices. So, give me something to choose between. It's easier that way.
And that was one of the things. Like, I could choose something like Scream. But I've mentioned that a million times.
Yeah, that's just too predictable. Sorry. Even I could have predicted that. I was like, oh yeah, Scream.
That's what I was like, Flynn, what's my favorite movie? And he's like, Scream. I'm like, damn it, anything but that.
Not Scream.
But then, yeah, when we were VHS hunting the other day, I was like, oh my god. I like freaked out when I saw this movie.
Yeah, really excited.
I couldn't fucking ignore that. So it's probably not my all-time favorite movie, but it is definitely one of my top 5s. And I think
Where is it on your top 5 list?
Probably 2 or 3. And that's the best I could do, though, because any of my top 5s are technically my number 1. So, like, I don't really have a top 1 list.
You got a weird way of numbers.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I hate this question, and I don't know why I did this, so I hate myself. Let's go.
I just want to say that we have had this movie in my house, I think, since the same year it came out, and I just saw it. It has lived with me.
You haven't, like, watched it before now?
Your movie.
Oh, yeah. I was like, did we just change to yours?
No. The movie you're going to talk about, it has been living in my house since I think the same, like,
2000.
time span it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I had not watched it until now.
Yeah. So. So, my movie is What Lies Beneath. And you just said that you had the movie in your house since it came out. And I think I told you that the first time I saw this. The first time I saw this, it was like on TV. I didn't see it in theaters. I didn't rent the movie. But I saw it on TV, and it was like the made for television version.
Yeah.
So less sex, less cursing,
probably less murder.
Maybe. There wasn't much murder in this.
Less blood.
Was there blood? Oh yeah, there was blood. But yeah, I said it's not like a normal big picture. So like a lot of people's favorite horror movies are like Jaws and The Exorcist and stuff like that.
Really?
I guess.
Oh.
I know that like when I'm listening to a lot of other horror podcasts, everyone's like, oh, I love Jaws, it's my favorite, or it's at least my top 5 or something.
I wasn't a fan.
I think it's old.
It's old, and I didn't care for it.
Yeah.
So I think I didn't care for it with the scientific aspect of sharks don't give a fuck
pretty much
about us. So that's completely unreasonable.
Well, except for we watched Deep Blue Sea the other day.
Okay, that's fine, but that's like a genetically modified shark. They fucked
experiment.
that shark up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know, though. But then after I saw it the first time, I would watch it every single time it was on TV. So I was like, that's something. I don't normally do that. Except for Twister. We said that the other day.
Oh, I love Twister.
Every time that was on TV, we would watch it.
I used to have the VHS, so I watched it whenever I want to. Ooh, I think I have the DVD.
You have the Twister DVD?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I not buy the Twister DVD? I saw it and I
bought
didn't fucking
the VHS.
buy it. I did buy the VHS, which I don't think I've ever watched it on VHS. So
really?
That should be exciting.
It's exciting to watch the blacks turn purple.
The blacks turn purple?
Yeah, because the quality of the movies is not up to par with the quality of our screens.
Yeah.
So the blacks, they're so black, they turn like weird shapes and purple.
I remember that.
Yep.
I'm excited to see the movie theater scene on VHS.
Ooh.
Yeah. That'd be really cool.
That'll be
Anywho,
fun.
I'm not talking about Twister, but now that we're talking about it, I'm like, maybe that should have been my favorite movie.
That's true, dude. This is a good freaking movie.
I love it. I think we were leaning more towards the horror genre, though.
Oh, like, were we? I wasn't.
Oh, yours is horrifying.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh.
But yeah, so, like, I realized that this was kind of my favorite because, like, every time it's on, I would watch it, and it was one of those things where it's like, I kind of want to watch a horror movie, but I don't really want to be disturbed. I don't want to throw on Evil Dead, the new Evil Dead, because that's just a disturbing movie. You haven't seen it. We'll watch it eventually.
No, it's like, nothing about that seems disturbing just because all I've seen is Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yeah,
and that's more, like, funny.
But I think the reason why I like broke it down as to why it's kind of my favorite, and it's got a really good combination of whodunit, and it's, I mean, we were talking about how it's like at the peak edge of when Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford were like sexy. They're like middle-aged sexy, where they can still like they can still be oiled down a little bit.
Sam was straight up like, "Who's this discount Harrison Ford?"
That
Harrison Ford. He's like,
oh.
Now I see it.
But like in the beginning, so the first half of the movie is like a whodunit.
Yeah.
Because she thinks the neighbor killed her neighbor. Lady.
Neighbor killed his wife.
Yeah. And then towards the end, we realize that it's way more of a ghost story, but also still a whodunit. And it really works. Although, I wrote down what I said yesterday, where it was when you're showing someone your favorite movie, you start realizing all of its flaws.
I remember that. It is long.
I didn't realize it was a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
That's a little much for any horror movie. Honestly, is yours 2 hours?
Oh my god, my movie is long as balls.
I thought yours was about 2 hours.
It's a minute short. 1 hour and 59 minutes.
Oh god. So that means it's probably like 1 hour and 55 with the credits.
Probably. Yeah, give or take.
But yeah, so every time when I first saw it, my mom introduced me to it, like I was saying. And I thought it was going to be like one of those Julia Roberts thrillers, Lifetime movie type things. And it kind of was. But it was much more blockbuster. Because remember we were talking about like the top grossing horror movies? This was it. This was on the top 10 of highest grossing horror movies.
Huh.
And I had no idea. But when it came out in 2000... it was like, it made like $161 million.
Damn.
Probably because of Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford.
Probably.
But yeah. But it had like a huge budget and they had really good writers and it was just a good movie. I really like it.
Who is the dead chick? God, who's that actress?
Michelle Pfeiffer?
No, the dead chick.
Oh.
Not the one that looks like a ghost.
The dead chick is... Oh, Amber Valletta.
Who?
She was in Dead Silence.
Oh, that's how I know her.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was also in Gamer and
Transporter.
Hitch. Yeah.
Premonition.
A lot of, like, chick thrillers.
Premonition's not a chick thriller, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Really?
Sandra Bullock.
I love her.
I'm so excited for Ocean's 8. The one with, like, the whole woman cast.
You know, I haven't watched any of those full female reboots yet. Like Ghostbusters, I haven't seen it yet.
That's a guilty pleasure movie for me because it really sucks. But it is hilarious if you just ignore the fact that it's a reboot of Ghostbusters.
Yeah. I had so I just, for the first time, watched Ghostbusters.
The original? Mm-hmm. And you didn't like it? From your face, it looks like you don't like it.
It's not that I didn't like it. I just wasn't attached to it like everyone seems to be.
Well, a lot of us grew up with it. Like, the first time I saw Ghostbusters, I was like 9 or 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense.
So it's like a throwback for me. And, like, Flynn, I think it came out when he was, like, 6. 5 or 6. So it was like a kid's horror movie.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't absolutely terrifying, so you could go see it with your family because it was funny because Bill Murray. Bill Murray is God.
Who was the main chick?
Oh, Alien. Ripley.
Oh, thank you, Sigourney Weaver.
Yes, thank you.
Yep. That's what I liked about it, was Sigourney Weaver is like as Miss Bad Mojo, and I was like, Oh, and then Zool.
Yes.
Oh,
man.
Demon puppy.
I would love to see a cosplay of Zool.
That's probably done.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. But I want to see it.
I wanted to watch Zool be more of a puppy.
Oh, man. That was her second movie.
Damn.
Amber Valletta, What Lies Beneath, was her second movie. That's crazy.
Okay, I don't care about Lady Zool. I want the puppy. That's when he's possessed Sigourney Weaver. Sorny Weaver.
Yeah, but the demon person, Gozer, minion of Gozer. So yeah, Zool was the puppy, but Gozer, I think Gozer was the demigod who came out in like the glitter spandex. Yeah, you're Gozer right. The Gozerian. Fucking love that. Yeah, so Gozer the Gozerian is the leader of the cult of Gozer, and they have harbingers of destruction, and primary agents for arrival is Vince Clortho, the Keymaster, Zool, and the Gatekeeper. Anyway, we've moved on from mine dramatically, so let's move on to yours.
Okay, well, this was really hard for me because my 2 favorite movies ever are both by my 2 favorite human beings ever, Guillermo del Toro and Jim Henson.
Did Jim Henson do...
No. I said my 2 favorite movies are by my 2 favorite human beings.
Okay.
So it made it really hard to not do them both.
I mean, I basically said Scream and Twister, so you could technically do both of them.
And What Lies Beneath, and Ghostbusters.
Well, What Lies Beneath was my number 1, even though I have top 5. Go on, keep going, just ignore me.
Okay, well, anyways, so most recently, this director released my technically number 3 favorite movie, Shape of Water.
Really? That was...
I love that movie. I love that movie.
I fucking hated that he ate the cat.
He's a fish dude.
Yeah, but the cat should have been gone.
There were so many cats in that apartment. Really, what did you think would happen? Sorry. Anyway, so
poor kitty.
I know. I found an art piece of
the dead cat.
No.
Oh, we were talking about the dead cat.
God, I found an art piece of the fish dude who never got a name. He was surrounded by little kitties. And Sam was like, one should have the tail coming out of his mouth. I was like, no!
Good job, Sam.
But anyway, so my favorite movie, and I could watch this movie for the rest of my life and not be upset about it, is Pan's Labyrinth.
Well, save that for the next time we talk about that stuff.
Like I said, Del Toro is my dude.
Del Toro is pretty good. He's done a lot of my favorite contemporary horror.
Yeah.
Was not a fan of Crimson Peak.
I loved Crimson Peak because you can't come at it as a horror movie.
Yeah, and that was my mistake. But I loved the Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
Yep.
The little creatures
I know.
Freaked Flynn out. So when we saw the trailer, he was like, "I don't want to see that."
I love
you are coming
fucking
with me.
door.
Yes.
That door. So that was the first Del Toro movie I had ever seen.
Really?
I didn't even know it was Del Toro.
You didn't see Hellboy before that?
Oh, I guess I didn't process Hellboy. I don't really care about Hellboy.
Yeah.
Sam loves Hellboy. He loves Ron Perlman.
Very culty.
Yeah, I didn't really care about Hellboy.
Yeah.
Mostly because when I saw Hellboy, I wasn't in that comic book brain that I'm in now. So at the time, it wasn't relevant to me. I was like, whatever, it's Hellboy. I don't care. And my brain, for some reason, Red Dude reminded me of Daredevil, and I really didn't care. Because Daredevil had come out, and that was fucking awful.
So, well, yeah.
Daredevil was bad.
Daredevil was terrible.
The show's
good.
So
was Elektra, but I
liked Elektra more because I think she brought out, like, my inner gay.
I loved the soundtrack to Elektra. Elektra was one of my first, like, I actually went out and bought the soundtrack because it was a bunch of, like, rock bands.
I don't remember the soundtrack, but she definitely made me rethink, like, if I'm attracted to men only. It was it was a long process after that. But anyway, I didn't care about Hellboy. And so I don't process Hellboy as Del Toro. But anyway, so Don't Be Afraid of the Dark was one of my very first Del Toro movies I had ever seen. And his love for practical versus digital effects,
so good,
fucking got me.
So good. I love it.
Everything about that was just, it like drew me in, because if I focus too much on CGI, it starts to become too noticeable. But the nice thing with Del Toro movies is it's all real costuming. The props are mostly real.
The Don't Be Afraid of the Dark had to be mostly CGI.
Yes, because the little gremlin things.
No human could play that.
They could, because think about it. Think about Doug Jones playing the Fawn. Yeah. You know how his knees go fucking backwards and shit?
Yeah, that's leg braces, but doing the small creatures. I guess they could, like...
You can just minimize them.
Yeah, you could take it.
Yeah. But, anyway, I think they did a lot of mocap with those, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, too.
But
very similar to what they do with, like... What's his name? Andy Serkis.
Yes.
Where he does, like, King Kong and Gollum and stuff.
Serkis. Oh, he's wonderful. But, anyways. This movie... So after Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, and once I realized it was Del Toro, then I started watching Pacific Rim. Because I got introduced to Don't Be Afraid of the Dark way late.
Really?
Yeah.
We saw it in theaters.
I think I found it on Netflix, and then I had my ex-boyfriend's pirating account, and so I used it to pirate it, so I had it on my laptop, the laptop that's in front of us. And I watched it constantly. So then Pacific Rim came out, and I got obsessed with Pacific Rim. And then the connection of Del Toro got me. So I am about, at this point, 8 years late to Pan's Labyrinth, because Pan's Labyrinth came out in 2006.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, and it also didn't help that. So I didn't start using subtitles until I started losing my hearing. So, now I have subtitles and everything. And for a while, I didn't want to watch anything with subtitles. Just because it used to take me away from the movie. It doesn't anymore, because now...
Hold up.
What?
Losing your hearing?
Oh, yeah, I'm, like, partially deaf in one ear.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. It's interesting. It's very fun. But anyway, so...
Yeah, you're going to tell me about that later.
I mean... It just kind of happened. I think it's just a lot of too loud music.
Oh, that kind of losing
and a lot of using Q-tips.
Yeah. Is that line from Friends? You need to stop before there's resistance.
Sam always tells me that they're gonna have to vacuum out my ear canals, and I'm like, bleh. My friend Effie, that I very often talk about on this lovely show.
Effie seems amazing, by the way.
Effie is actually the best. But anyways, so. I could go on for years about Effie, so we're not going to open that can.
We love you, Effie. I don't know who you are, but you're awesome.
But so they have this specific range of deafness that their ears can't pick up the same decibel range as the human voice.
Effie?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you're in another room with them, and so, like, say they're in the kitchen and you're in the living room, if you try to talk to them, it's very likely that they can't hear you.
That's terrifying. That happens to me. So when you're, like, walking around in a parking lot, and then there's, like, the carts rattling.
Yeah.
I lose all people. Like, when Flint is talking to me, like, he's right next to me, and then there's a cart going by, I'm like, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to repeat all of that, because I just lose his voice.
Interesting.
It's so strange. And that, fucking losing anything freaks me out.
Yeah.
My hearing, my eyesight,
freaks me out. I remember them talking to me about it once, and basically saying that when they got their hearing checked, they said it was a rare case that somebody will lose that decibel range that is the human speaking range. So if you're in another room, you either have to speak very loud, or you have to walk into that room.
And get their attention?
Not so much get their attention, but once you're in the same room, it's easier for them to hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like muffled human range is difficult.
You know, I've never actually
maybe you guys
asked
should do
to
experiments.
describe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never asked them to describe how the range like sounds. But it's one of those things where once you've realized what the limitation is, you kind of learn to adapt with it. So now if I'm ever hanging out with them, I'll like, instead of yelling and being like, hey, can you do X, Y, and Z thing? Like get water since you're in the kitchen already. I'll just get up and be like, hey, I'm going to grab a glass of water because it's just easier. I don't want to yell at you. That's rude.
I'm used to yelling because my grandfather has had a hearing aid in since fucking before I can remember.
Yeah.
Because he's always had terrible hearing. Oh. And then he got... No. In, like, a really fucking annoying way. So, like, he will... he actually turns his hearing aid off sometimes.
Really?
Just because he doesn't want to deal with people's bullshit. And that's why I love him.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Back to Pan's Labyrinth.
Anyways, so... subtitles used to take me out of movies because you have to read and then make sure you can follow along with what's happening. And if you can't multitask that, then you totally lose it. Yeah. Which, if we've learned anything from the general reaction to A Quiet Place, people are not fans.
They don't like to multitask.
Yeah. And it's stupid.
Or even be quiet, apparently.
Yeah. It's just like going through Twitter and watching people basically be like, wow, the only thing I hated about that movie was the fact that I had to read subtitles. I was like, well, you probably don't know ASL, so you can choose that or read subtitles.
Learn a language.
Yeah, so the whole movie, the reason why you have to like read the subtitles, unless you know Spanish, is because the whole movie's in Spanish. Yeah. But it is so fucking beautiful.
Did Doug Jones do his own lines, or did they have a voiceover? Was he just the body? Maybe you don't know that. It's fine.
I don't...
Because it doesn't sound like him in the movie.
It doesn't. So I think... So I have this fancy dancy book.
Fancy dancy.
I know. With all the behind the scenes stuff. It's an art book, behind the scenes book. It's one of my favorite like possessions. They talk about the fact that in the fawn's head specifically, there's all these like, there's these gears because the ears move and his head does this like twitchy thing.
Oh, fucking ugh.
Yeah, his whole body fucking twitches. Yeah.
That's what creeps me out about those like fucking Japanese horror movies when like the little ghosties are like cracking. Ugh.
Yeah. So
body deformations.
Well, I mean, he gets better throughout the movie.
Does he?
Yeah, because in the very first time you see him, it's like he's awaking, so his joints are all stiff and stuff. But as he goes on, he twitches a lot less. But so I think that it's very possible that if it's not a voiceover, that he had some sort of like voice box in, because it doesn't sound like Doug Jones. But it's very possible they had some sort of like voice manipulation where it came out differently. But it is, I'm fairly certain it is him speaking, because how the prosthetic works is it moves with his mouth. So either he's lip syncing very well or he is actually speaking. It's very beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, it's fucking gorgeous. I love it so much. That's actually that. I don't remember what that movie did for me. I remember it doing something. Like, I either loved Celtic design more, or I really wanted to start doing costume designing or something. But it did something for me, and it's good.
I don't know so much about costume design, because it's
I meant like creature design.
There we go. Yeah, I was going to say the costume design of it is very
simple, very piece. Not historical piece, but historically accurate.
Yes.
Clothing. Yeah.
It is very like historically put, until you get to that end fantasy scene where it's when after she does the third trial and she wakes up in her like kingdom and she's got the new outfit and her parents are on the throne and they've got these gorgeous gowns on. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
Okay, but I'll pull that out and I'll show you, because it's beautiful. The costuming is beautiful. The actual, like, 90% of that is going to be CGI. Like, you can't...
Oh yeah, well, if even in the book you showed me, like, all the scenes are green. They're just basically on a soundstage.
Yeah. from what I can remember, they did a lot of miniatures.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the scenes are built, but they're mini built.
Yeah.
The frog is full sized.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, plot of the story, our lovely Ophelia she's transported to a mill with her very pregnant mother, who's very sick, to be with her stepfather, who's an asshole. He's a fucking what is he? He's a war commander, captain, whatever. He's a fucking douchebag, and he hates her, and she hates him. But so basically, she gets to this house, and she almost immediately is she finds this fairy on the travel there, and the fairy wakes her up and transforms from a bug into an actual looking fairy.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was really cool, by the way.
That was really cool.
Because it was so cute, because she shows him a little storybook, and he's like, oh, I can look like that. It was very cool. She finds the labyrinth, gets pulled out of the labyrinth by Mercedes, who's the love of my life. She's so sweet. But she's also working with the gorillas that are in the woods. Because her brother is one of the gorillas. Anyways. Yeah. So, she goes into the labyrinth with the fairy, finds the fawn. And the fawn's like, oh yeah, you're a princess. Check your shoulder. You've got a moon on your shoulder. And she's like, no, I'm not.
You lie.
Exactly. So he talks to her for a little bit, gives her this book, and says you have 3 trials you have to complete before the full moon. To
become the princess.
Yeah, to have your soul transported back. The first trial was the that nasty fat ass frog in the tree. But so nasty fat frog with the golden key turns to the pale man, which is, I think, one of the most iconic fantasy horror creatures.
Yeah. Oh, the pale man? Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you think of that movie, you think of either the pale man or the fawn.
Yeah,
absolutely. You don't think of anything else.
Nope. So then he was the second one with the giant feast, and she fucks it up because she's hungry.
Just don't eat it's like fucking Hansel and Gretel.
It was like 2 grapes.
Yeah. Hansel and fucking Gretel. Learn your lesson.
And then 2 fairies died. She almost died.
That was terrible when the
Wasn't
fairies
that so sad?
died.
And you get a close-up of that bitch. Ugh, it's gross. Yeah, that was really sad. But, so the prosthetics of that, I told you this earlier, but I want to tell everyone in Followerland.
In Followerland?
Yes. So Doug Jones, with the prosthetics of that costume, they had to film with him for 4 days. Mm-hmm. And he basically said, hey, after the filming was done, after the makeup was done and stuff, it was taking so long for them to take off all the prosthetics.
I couldn't fucking imagine.
Yeah, 'cause he realized that by the time they were done, he would not have gotten enough sleep to just come back the next morning and have to do it again. So he told them, take off my head, take off my arms, take off my green screen leg pants, and I'll just wear the torso back to the hotel. Mm-hmm. And he slept in that torso, wrapped in saran wrap, under a big-ass sweater for 4 days. And he says, which it's in my fancy-dancy book here, he says that once he finally got to take that torso off, it was the best shower of his life.
That's so... Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh, I couldn't imagine that much work and being just, stuck.
Yeah.
I couldn't take a shower.
Yeah, awful. So...
I'm looking up his filmography. Oh my god, he's been in 160... I forgot he was in Nosferatu as Count Orlok.
Oh, yeah, dude.
He's fucking doing that.
Yep.
He's been in a lot of bad things, too.
That's fine. He can be in bad things.
I want to see this movie now. It's just called Hell's Kitty. Look at the poster. Hell's Kitty.
He's Father Damien. Oh my god, it might be his face. It might be Doug Jones.
Yeah.
Aww.
And then he's in, Star Trek.
I love it when it's just Doug Jones.
I want to actually see. I remember he was in this movie called The Bye-Bye Man that came out last year.
You don't remember him in Legion?
I do. And that's why I wanted to see when he... Okay, so his first, really big thing... Oh, yeah. McDonaldland. It was a TV show.
What?
McDonaldland. He was Mac Tonight for 5 episodes.
Yeah, that's the moon dude.
Ugh. But his first, really big thing was the Thin Clown in Batman Returns. And then he was Billy Butcherson in Hocus Pocus.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that.
And then, Mimic. Did you ever see that movie?
Not that I can think of. It doesn't sound familiar.
He was Pencilhead in Mystery Men.
Okay.
The gentleman in Buffy the So basically, after Buffy the Vampire Slayer, he became like the go-to creepy thin man.
Yeah, and that's he does it very well.
So well.
And what I was reading was basically like, once he gets into the costume, he toys around with it for like an hour or so to get into the character.
Oh.
Yeah.
I watched, because we're following him on Instagram, and I've watched some of his like exercise pre-character workouts, and he needs to stay fit because of the contortions that he has to do with his body. It's crazy.
Yeah. So one of my favorite things about Pan's Labyrinth and his fawn costume is the fact that like pretty much all the scenes with the fawn have to be green screen.
Wow.
They have to.
Yeah.
Because since you cannot physically contort your legs at this like 45-degree angle and still be able to walk, he has a green screen where his leg at the knee just like creates a triangle.
Yeah. Ugh.
So he has to be green screen and everything because they have to be able to edit that out. Yeah. And it's the same thing with the Pale Man. With the Pale Man, they put him in like green screen leg wraps.
Yeah.
And then the thin...
Because his feet...
That too, but the thin leg, that's not... You can't humanly do that kind of leg.
Yeah.
So they have to do the same thing with his leg. If you have not seen this movie...
Go fucking do it right now.
Please go see it. I rented it off of, I think, Amazon for like 24 hours for like $4, and I watched it 18 times. Jesus. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I
mean, I remember doing that, but I don't remember doing it that much.
Yeah, exactly. It's really cool. It's just the storytelling is amazing, and Guillermo del Toro, he does the voiceover narration for the beginning and the end of it.
Oh, he does?
Yes,
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, so he does the beginning when he's talking about the fairy tale of like, oh, she left and now her soul is stuck there, but she'll come back one day. Mm-hmm. And then he does the end when she's come back, and they're like, he's talking about like, oh, and the family was reunited and blah, blah, blah. And one of the last things he says was there were traces left of her for those who look. Mm-hmm. So in the very last scene, the tree with the frog, there's like a flower that blooms.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Because doesn't she die?
Oh yeah, so that was the final. So the 3 trials, basically, she has to put 3 stones in the belly of a frog who's basically a glutton, is killing this tree. That is one of like the old wise tree homes things. And she puts the 3 stones in the belly of the frog by tricking him with one of those big giant roly-polies. He vomits out his intestines, dies.
Oh,
and then she pulls the key out. And then the second trial is the Pale Man, where Fauno says, don't eat anything. There's a beast that slumbers there. He's not human. You need to take your key and use it. You open a box, or you open the thing in the wall, and you get a dagger out. Mm-hmm. And the dagger leads to the 3rd trial. But since she eats those grapes and the 2 fairies die, she runs out of time on the hourglass, so her chalk door outline closes, and she has to make the new door in the ceiling, which was a stupid place to make the new door.
Why not just put it back in the wall?
Right? And then the Pale Man almost gets her. And then Fawn yells at her because he's like, oh, you failed, you killed my fairies, you didn't follow the rules, you're obviously not the princess. And she, like, loses her mind. Her mother dies.
Oh, right.
Because mom had a baby. And
see, I think that's one of the reasons why I don't go back and watch that movie, is just because it's so heavy.
It's a very sad, heavy movie. So the last trial, the fawn comes and shows up. But she sees the fairy first, and the fawn comes out of the darkness like usual.
Because it's a creepy little stalker.
Right? And he goes, I've decided to give you another chance. Don't ask any questions. Follow exactly what I said. You need to bring the baby to the labyrinth. Mm-hmm. And she's like, why? He's like, don't ask questions. Fuck, just said that.
Do it.
I know. So she takes the baby to the labyrinth, and the fawn's got the dagger in his hand. But she's also being chased by her stepdad, who just had his mouth sliced open and got stabbed twice.
Fucking that. When he does... Ugh.
When he, like, sews it together and he does the... When he, like, opens his mouth and the slit goes... She's being chased, and the fawn says, okay, the final trial is we need the blood of the innocent to open up the portal.
Oh, fuck.
And she says no.
Yeah.
She's like, that's not going to fucking happen. So she dies. She gets shot. The baby goes to stepdad. Mm-hmm. And she basically is, like, bleeding from her nose, from her hand and stuff, because she touches the wound, is like, oh my god, and falls over. And so her hand is over the entryway to, like, the underground portion of the labyrinth. The final trial, which fun is, the trial is he has to trick her into believing that they need the blood of the innocent, but if they use the blood of the innocent, then it didn't work. So she had to sacrifice herself.
Oh.
That was the final trial.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that movie is so fucking heavy.
I love that movie. It is like the perfect rainy day movie, too.
It really is, because it's dark and gloomy.
Yeah.
Isn't the whole movie either at night or extreme overcast? There's no sunny scenes in it whatsoever.
No.
That sounds very
Part of the movie's in a cave, a lot of the movies in the house, a lot of the movies very dimly lit. Mm-hmm. There is a sunny quote unquote scene where it's bright outside.
Yeah.
But it's very depressing because it's when they're doing the food rations.
Oh, yeah,
where every family gets one food card.
Ugh.
No matter what. Yeah. So, very, very upsetting. But, hands down, if I had to choose one movie to die with, it'd be this movie.
That sounds like it.
Yeah.
I don't know that answer yet. I'll figure it out, though. As I hate figuring this out. Like, my favorite anything. Ugh. Anyways. So that was
a long tangent.
It was a lot. You went into good detail. Now I feel inadequate.
I really like that movie. I can't help it. I love this movie so much. I just love Guillermo del Toro.
Absolutely.
As a director, as a human being. Have you watched Extraordinary Tales yet?
No.
Watch it.
I will. I really want to.
Love it. You should.
So What Lies Beneath was mine, and Pan's Labyrinth was yours.
Yeah.
And mixed in with, like, Ghostbusters, and what was the other one you said?
Ghostbusters, Twister, Extraordinary Tales.
All of the above. It's great. We're on top of things.
We are.
So this was our big yay episode, 10 episodes, all the things.
Yeah.
I think we're done with the normal stuff. We did our announcement that our Patreon episode is up.
Yeah.
Our first one. And we're going to have another episode type, which is the last Wednesday of every month, is going to be a Watch Along Wednesdays. And we still have that's what I was going to say. The next episode is our second episode of the Don't Drink the Kool-Aid.
Yay!
Yes. We still have some leftover content from our friend and my husband. And then we did actually get, I want to say 2, but it's technically only 1 submission. We got one that was like really vague and I never got an email back. And then one from your friend about an urban legend of some kind.
I don't remember the urban legend. I'll have to read up.
Yeah, your friend sent it. She sent us like 4 submissions because she was doing
it
it
God, Julia. Yeah. Okay.
So
I
we'll do that.
Now.
But seriously, we need stuff. We need content. So if you want to be a part of our Don't Do the Kool-Aid episodes, please submit your stuff via email at rainbowsandhorrormovies@gmail.com or via the link in our bio and click contact us, and that will send you to our form. You can either be anonymous or you can put your name. It's really up to you. But yeah, those are our big things. We went over our whole giant goals list. Ugh, no pressure. We'll only 90 episodes to go until we figure out if we failed.
Yay!
Now, let's get into social media. You can find us on Instagram. No, we do our Patreon first, which I've mentioned a bunch of times. I never actually told you guys where to go. Our Patreon is patreon.com/RAHM podcast. And you can find us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook at RAHM Podcast. And please join our Facebook group. We don't have anyone part of it yet.
You should.
It's just a just a place where you can go to post stories and creepy shit.
And talk to each other.
Talk to
to us.
We want our followers to be part of the cult together.
It's not a cult if we're all separate.
Yeah, right? I mean, anywho. And then our personal Instagrams, mine is at TheKDub and Michaela's is at Interstellar Camper. And, if you're interested in our other hobbies, Michaela has a cosplay one that is
Stars and Ivy cosplay.
There you go. My art illustration graphic design one is at Neon Jellyfish Studio. So go give us a follow, and we'll see you guys next time. Please submit your content for next episode, for follower episodes,
Yay!
And all future episodes.
Yay!
Thank you guys for listening.
Bye.